Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream? That's disgusting. You feel bad about yourself. We are no longer friends.
Better than sex. It's very good.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I'm Supportu. Joining me today is the one and only Real Manos.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. We are doing a second episode of Geeky Gentlemen fan film reviews today because we had the initial pick was really short, and so we decided to do another really short fan film. So what's the other fan film we're doing today?
The other one is Kamala. It's a Miss Marvel fan film.
Indeed, and running in at 5 minutes, it's on the shorter side for fan films we have talked about. So we're getting there. We're gonna get in. We're gonna do really in depth here in about 15 to 20 minutes. All right. So I'll out myself. I've not read Miss Marvel in comics pretty much at all. I think she may have shown up in some of the event stuff that I've read here and there.
Yeah, she's been popping up in events lately, so it wouldn't be surprised if you did that.
Yeah, but you are a Miss Marvel fan, correct?
Yeah, pretty much on board from day one, actually. I decided to check the book out because it got a lot of press before its release. And I was pretty sold instantly. I was going to give it maybe one or two issues, but I instantly kind of bonded with the character of Kamala. Because before they released the book, before they started the series, they made this big deal out of being the first Muslim character with a superhero title. And yes, that is a huge part of who she is. But they did something very clever. G. Willow Wilson did something very clever with the character in that she's also a big superhero geek. And basically saying, like, hey, this Muslim girl has something in common with a lot of you readers out there. You know, she's a big dork about superheroes. She writes fan fiction. She has a lot of feelings of inadequacy as well as you do. And she's always kind of sold me on that kind of thing. She's such like a sweet, realistic character in a lot of the ways she goes about. Not only in her stories, but even in other tales. Okay. Other books.
All right. So how do you think this fan film did at capturing the character?
I thought this was quite good. This captured a lot of her feelings. I don't believe this really adapts any particular story. It just kind of goes in the generic, hey, something's going down and our hero's being challenged. And she's being reminded of a moment where she wasn't very strong. And the pace on this is really good. You know, it uses its 5-6 minutes very well.
I mean, it's only 5 minutes long, but it feels like 10 to 15, to be honest. It deals with just a lot of stuff, and, like, not in a bad way. It really does pack so much in here that it feels like you're there for longer.
Yeah.
I was really surprised this was only 5 minutes long when I was thinking back on it. So as someone who's not a Miss Marvel fan, mainly just because I'm not a Marvel guy to begin with, I gotta say this was really interesting, and it just immediately created a real sense of who this character is. You mentioned the nerdy, like, comic book kind of fan stuff. I mean, she's got a room, it's all decked out in Marvel and DC stuff. I thought that was pretty good. You mentioned that she's, not very self-confident and deals with, like, bullying and stuff. Yeah, that's in here, and I thought that was really a good way to show it all off. It worked really well.
And yeah, considering they couldn't have had too much of a budget. Even the all the actors who were playing like her support, her family, her friend Nikki, and Zoe. Boy, they were almost off the page.
Yeah. Oh my God, her dad was probably my favorite character in this.
Oh yeah.
The actor does such a phenomenal job on delivery there. Like, a lot of times in fan films especially, you'll notice like they're usually made by kids, teenagers, and then the adults in them are usually just adults that they know. And I've said this a million times when reviewing fan films. As far as the acting goes, you get who you can get, and you hope that they can do the best job with what they're given. And so when someone comes on here, particularly when it's an older character like that, and just blows me away, I'm always super impressed. Like, I don't know if that guy's just someone they knew or if he's a professional actor or what, but he did a damn good job. And the actress playing Kamala does a great job as well. Everything here feels really, really strong on a storytelling and acting level.
Yes.
When we get into some of the filmmaking side of things, it's definitely the weaker aspect of what they're doing, I'll say. But that's, honestly, I'm kind of just aware of and prepared for that with a lot of fan films.
Yeah. That's something I kind of expect. If you talk about some of the techniques, some of the audio, you could hear kind of adjusting and shifting within the film. And the special effects budget was obviously not too strong. It's so funny, like the superhero stuff almost reminded me of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a weird way. It's like, oh, is this part of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. universe? This scene? And just, the way those three generic supervillains are attacking. It's one of those things. I love the shifting of scenes with her father, giving her a motivational speech, not realizing that he's kind of also motivating her to, keep fighting as a superhero. And that like speech just like absolutely kills me. Actually, I mean, I well up a little bit when I first watched that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. I didn't know that about her name. I'm assuming that's genuine and thought through. That seems like a real detail, and not something they're just making up. So that they say that she was perfect when she was born, or maybe that's ripped right out of one of the comics. I don't know, but my God, that is such a good scene. It's so cool to have that kind of connection made. I was really, really impressed with the writing on this. Yeah, you're right. Very generic kind of supervillains, but they're definitely not anywhere near the focus of the story. So I thought that was pretty good.
It's not the point.
I will ask this question, though. Do you feel that it was a mistake to not have her fighting the lead villain at the end there, or do you think that is the perfect place to end it?
No, that was the perfect place to end it. It almost, it's funny that we're doing this and the Orion one back to back, because they almost have the same kind of ending. The wanting you to have the causing you to want more at the end, like, oh man, here we go, fight time. I don't know. I sometimes call it the Rocky 3 ending, and they both have the Rocky 3 ending essentially.
Okay.
And no, I thought that was really good. The point of it is to have Kamala find her courage and her gumption again in this moment of darkness, and that's kind of what the story's about. So, with her just standing and beating the other two and getting ready to beat the other guy, I mean that's the story. That's the victory there.
Okay, fair enough. I like that. I don't know. For something about it felt weird, but I think you make a really good argument for that choice. I mentioned this earlier, but I think the filmmaking aspects of this, the effects and the way it's shot, are probably the weaker aspect. The way it's shot, really not that bad. Looks like they're doing the best with what they have available.
Good.
And that's certainly fine. The effects are the weaker part. It looks like there's a lot of green screen effects, particularly like when the one guy gets thrown across the valley and kind of like crashes into the rocks. I'm pretty sure I could find that exact deformation effect on a bunch of green screen channels. And really, there's nothing wrong with using those. It's just I'm going to point it out because I noticed it. So there's stuff like that I certainly noticed and was a bit weaker. But they use their limitations effects-wise pretty damn well. That whole forced perspective composite of Kamala behind the rock as she's supposed to be shrunk down, I thought that was really, really effectively done. Like, I'm pretty sure I know exactly how they did it, but they did a really good job with it. You can't see the composite line anywhere, so that's pretty cool. I also like, they use it really smart for her, like, stretchy noodle arm power or whatever you call it.
Yeah, she stretches.
Yeah. They use it really well, that it's just quick and then it's back to normal. You just get like a couple frames of it and then she's back to normal arms. I thought that was really effectively and smartly used. I feel like a lot of times things don't recognize their limitations and try so hard to show off their effects that are just passable, and then that like inadvertently makes the thing worse. So this, I feel, was really smart to, like, they knew they could pull it off for a very short period of time, but they knew when to pull back on it. I thought that was really effective.
Yeah.
Okay, what else can we talk about with this one?
Oh, man. Let's see. We did talk about the acting, but this was co-written by the director and the lead actress, by the way. And I loved all. Let's see. I love all the intricate parts of, like, the family, like her brother, who is overprotective, and he's I wouldn't say strict, but I don't even know if I'd say conservative, but he's very, very active in his Muslim religion. And I love that bit about him kind of like trying to say, hey, we're going to take care of you, and they're like, hey, okay, pray to Allah for you and your sister. We'll take care of this thing. I like that. I love that little bit.
Okay.
I really did enjoy the lead actress. She's quite good. She looks a lot like Kamala, which is pretty uncanny.
Well, it's interesting that you say, I didn't pick up on that she co-wrote it, but it's interesting we talk about representation in comic books, and I can only imagine if she co-wrote it, she's probably a big fan of the character to begin with, and the fact that there is a character who looks like her in comics probably is the reason that she's so into her, right? Like, just literally, this character looks like me. This character feels like I feel, and so that's just it speaks to the power of diversity in comic books, and characters and stuff. So I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
I really like the scene with the father. It's a hard scene to watch, but I enjoy is not the right word. I was impressed by the scene with the bullies. I was really, really impressed with that scene, because that's a hard one to pull off, and not feel cringy.
Yeah, and I think that's the right amount of cringy. It doesn't feel the need to have a payoff of getting back at them or anything like that. It felt very real, like a real situation that not just Muslim teenagers deal with, but a lot of teenagers deal with. Like, people getting in their face saying, fuck you, you're terrible.
You're trash.
You're trash, and you just have to go on.
Completely agree. It's it's just really interesting to see that kind of inverted, because usually what we're used to is a very, like, macho man kind of thing, where, like, there's some comeuppance or whatever. I think of, like, Man of Steel, how we got the bully in the bar and then his truck gets completely demolished by Superman. Like, that's definitely very satisfying, but it's interesting to see it done in a way where it's just there to inform the character, and it's not there to, like, give you that moment of of the bully getting their comeuppance. It's just like, no, this is just the shit she has to deal with, and she really can't do anything about that, unfortunately.
Well, here's the thing about Zoe, is that in the comics, after Kamala gets her superpowers, Zoe is the first person she saves.
Wow.
Yeah. And she even has this moment where she thinks to herself, like, oh, like a common phrase in Islam is that if you save one life, you save everyone. I know I'm butchering that, but that's how it like connect. And she was like, yeah, she was kind of shitty to her and bullying her, but she was like, well, I'm not gonna like just sit back and let her die. I have.
Not the fucking Punisher, Jesus.
Yeah, that's true, and it's great. It's really well done. I'm very happy that they didn't, because Zoe becomes more likable over the course of the series, and I'm glad they didn't pull back on this short film and just let her be as kind of gross and awful as she is in that scene.
That's cool. That's cool. That is, it's a smart choice. It's a hard choice to make because, like, there's a reason we see bullies get their comeuppance so much, and it's because it's satisfying as an audience member, but it doesn't necessarily always serve the story. So I think it's smart here to have it there just to serve the story. So yeah, really, really good choices in here. Really smartly made film. Two really good fan films this week, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Short but sweet. And that's the thing is when you do something short, you've got a lot of time to really perfect it because, God, you could, like I said, this 5 minutes feels like 10, but you could have that because of bad quality too. You could have just like a really cringeworthy thing where I'm just like, this was only 5 minutes long, but it felt like an eternity. So, when they're this short, you got to really, like, everything has to be intentional. It's like poetry at that point.
Yes.
So really, really smart work here. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to ratings then, if you think we're ready for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Like I said, this is really touching and sweet, well thought out, and just right from the heart. Tribute to Miss Marvel. The acting is all very, very good. The writing is really solid. If I had any complaints, it's the usual kind of budgetary issues you'd get with a short fan film. It's probably why it's as short as it is. They couldn't really
afford to do much more.
Afford to do more, which is fine. That actually came in its favor because it feels really tight. So I would probably give this maybe 4.5 stretchy fists out of 5.
All right. I'm going to go just slightly lower than that just because of some of the effects and like audio dubbing work and stuff like that. Just, leave a lot of room for improvement there. And I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Lego Batman clocks with highlighters in the hands. So like the reason I'm giving that specifically is because I have that same Lego Batman clock and now I'm going to go put highlighters in his hands.
Yes.
So yeah, 4 out of 5 of those. Okay, Manos, how do we want to do the pick for next week?
Boy, yeah, we each picked a thing. It would have been your turn?
Technically, but I feel like I'm stealing 2 weeks in a row. Are you okay with that?
Let's see. Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay, all right. In that case, why don't we talk about... Oh, man, a lot of Batman stuff. I don't feel like talking about Batman again.
It's too soon. Too soon, man. Too soon.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stick with the animation, man. We're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about Dragon Ball Deliverance Episode 1 Emergency by the notorious Luke. So yeah, this is more of like a Dragon Ball GT fan film kind of thing. So that should be very interesting. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'm Philosopher.
And I'm the Realist.
And we are your Geeky Gentlemen. And we will be discussing things.